I think I was over the Democrat thing. It was either come over here and spend money or go over there and show a little good faith. Then when I got home, I thought, well, I'm sure we catch the end of it.
Good job.
It's about the middle of it. You guys were here 2.5 hours. Give me a break.
I can do it. I can hook you up with how to get one, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens here in a couple days. You guys have Beansby now.
So that we can see who's
Huh?
here.
You guys
so
have
do
Beansby
the
now.
minutes.
They've
In
changed
case
it
they
up.
don't
I
sign
did
it,
have
then
to
we
get
know.
during the team event.
Do you still have Wade Miley?
Pardon?
Pitcher, Wade Miley?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You had him last year. And then
Yeah.
you got, from the Braves, you got Dansby Swanson.
Preseason went a lot better than the start of the regular has, so.
I think we play you guys Thursday, maybe.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Really? Or
I think it's in Cincinnati.
Cincinnati?
Great American.
Good evening. It is 6:30 p.m. Monday, April 3rd, 2023. I'm Mayor Chris Rudden calling to order the regular session of the Logan's Board Common Council. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Amy Desmond,
Present.
Larry Hood,
Present.
Jonathan Nelms, absent. Jacob Vaughn,
Present.
Scott Peedy,
Present.
Carl McPherson, absent. And Dave Morris.
Start with the approval of minutes for the regular sessions, March 6, 2023 meeting.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question.
Amy Dinsmore,
Yes.
Larry Hood,
Yes.
Jacob Vaughn,
Yes.
Scott Peedy,
Yes.
Dave Morris.
Yes.
Reports from committees, boards, and commissions.
Finance Committee met on March the 20th at 5:30 p.m. On the agenda that evening was funding for the design work and development of the disc golf course. Becky Harris gave a summary of the financial report for Cash Transit, Squeal on the Eel sponsorship, Dykeman Clubhouse, the housing study, a couple transfer of appropriations, Four Brothers, and the creation of the funds for the ready money were all discussed, and several of those are on tonight's agenda.
Any other reports from committees, boards, and commissions? Hearing none, old business, ordinance 2022-51, Councilman Ledon.
Ordinance 2022-51, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, approving an additional appropriation from the general fund for the payment of IRS penalties and interest. I asked to table ordinance 2022-51.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question.
Larry Hood,
Yes.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Scott Peedy,
Yes.
Amy Dinsmore,
Yes.
Jacob Vaughn.
Yes.
Ordinance 2022-51 is tabled. New business, resolution 2023-111, Councilman Hood.
Resolution 2023-111 is a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, pledging sponsorship for the Squeal on the Eel Festival for 2023. Mayor Martin, I ask for a vote on Resolution 2023-111. Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question.
Amy Dinsmore,
Yes.
Jake Ladon,
Yes.
Larry Hood,
Yes.
Scott Petey,
Yes.
Dave Morris.
Yes.
Resolution 2023-111 passes. Resolution 2023-112. Councilman Petey.
Resolution 2023-112, resolution of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, approving funding for the updating of the study analysis of the residential market potential for the City of Logansport. Mr. Mayor, I ask for a vote on Resolution 2023-112, please.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question. Yes, yes, sir. Go ahead.
Just wanted to say a couple of things. This is an update on the 2018 marketing study that we had done. And I wanted the council to be aware when we discussed this in finance, we discussed $15,000. But I think in reading it, Jacob helped me out back there, it looked like we needed $15,250 in order to get the electronic. And the other question that I had on this was, and this was directed to Dwayne, it talks about paying money up front for the contract. Can we do that?
We can't pay the money up front.
So they would have to reword the contract in order to bring it to the Board of Works. Talks about a $250 data fee, Jacob, that I don't think we thought about when we talked about this in finance.
I guess it could be an not to exceed. I don't know that we need that part of it, but it doesn't have to not to exceed it a little bit.
All right,
We talked, he had talked about 8,000.
okay. Well, it just shows the three levels in there, and it adds up to 15,250, so I wasn't sure. Okay. Very good, thank you.
Any other further discussion? All right. Call for question.
Jake Ladon,
Yes.
Scott Petey,
Yes.
Amy Dinsmore,
No.
Larry Hood,
Yes.
Dave Morris.
Yes.
Resolution 2023-112 passes 4-1. Resolution 2023-113. Councilman Morse.
Resolution 2023-113, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, transferring appropriation for the Parks Department. I'd make a motion to approve.
A second.
Any further discussion? Call for question.
Amy Dinsmore,
Yes.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Scott Petey,
Yes.
Jake Ladon,
Yes.
Larry Hood.
Yes.
Resolution 2023-113 passes. Resolution 2023-114. Councilor Dinsmore.
Resolution 2023-114, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, approving the expenditure of CEDA incentive funding for Four Brothers LLC. I'd like to move Resolution 2023-114 forward for vote.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Larry Hood,
Yes.
Jake Ladon,
Yes.
Amy Dinsmore,
Yes.
Scott Petey.
Yes.
Resolution 2023-114 passes. Ordinance 2023-09. Councilman Ladon.
Ordinance 2023-09, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, transferring funds from the NR Continuing Education Fund 486 to the Lit Fund 294. I ask for a vote on ordinance 2023-09.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question.
Jake Brown,
Yes.
Scott Petey,
Yes.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Amy Dinsmore,
Yes.
Larry Hood,
Yes.
Ordinance 2023-09 passes on its first reading. Ordinance 2023-10, Councilman Petey.
Ordinance 2023-10, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, amending the Logansport and Fringe zoning ordinance 2018-03 for signage standards. Mr. Mayor, I ask for a vote on ordinance 2023-10, please.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question.
Scott Petey,
Yes.
Jake Brown,
Yes.
Amy Dinsmore,
Yes.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Larry Hood,
Yes.
Ordinance 2023-10 passes on its first reading. Ordinance 2023-11, Councilman Hood.
Ordinance 2023-11 is an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, amending the Logansport and Fringe zoning ordinance 2018-03 for structure, material standards. Mayor Martin, I'm asking for a vote on ordinance 2023-11.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
Is there, Aaron, do you want to kind of just review what the changes are on that?
So there's been a few different projects that have come up where our current ordinance says no metal is allowed. Well, we've had some commercial structures that have come in where they've used metal sidings and they've wrapped the metal, but it's still considered metal. So they've all had to go to BZA. We did have some residential where we felt that maybe it wasn't appropriate. So we were trying to find where's a happy medium. I don't know if we'll ever find that, to be honest. But we talked about concealed fasteners. So what that does is basically make it so it doesn't look like a pole barn. It's going to look more like siding, where there's going to be overlapping over those fasteners. And then what we also try to do is provide a 60-40 material. So there's going to be some change in texture, some change in color. So it's not just all going to be one black metal. There's going to be some sort of differentiation in that, whether they use some stone or whether they use some different texture. So, and then it kind of says of that 40%, it can be wood, EIFS, cement board, glass, stone, brick, and different style, texture, tones of metal. And then a minimum of the 40% should be 10% for front. So windows and doors, making sure we don't really have any standard right now. So if someone wanted to not have any windows and doors in front, they would be able to do that. So this would be providing that typical, which was something the building commissioner and I did discuss. And then the other item was basically vinyl siding and making sure vinyl siding wouldn't be allowed for commercial. Vinyl siding is more of a residential. And when they would use it as a residential, it stay with a 2 maximum color. That does not mean that the trim, so like trim around the windows or the soffit can still be, you know, metal with the vinyl, but you're not going to have metal with vinyl on the siding, and you're not going to have 4 different colors of siding happening with the vinyl. So that was kind of our happy medium of trying to work out something with some of the material discussions that we've had recently.
Thank you, Aaron.
Yep.
Any further discussion? Call for question.
Amy Dinsmore,
Yes.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Scott Petey,
Yes.
Larry Hood,
Yes.
Jake Brown,
Yes.
Ordinance 2023-11 passes on its first reading. Ordinance 2023-12, Councilman Morris.
Ordinance 2023-12, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, establishing funds for the use of ready grant monies by the City of Logansport, Indiana. I move this forward for a vote.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question?
Amy Dinsmore,
Yes.
Larry Hood,
Yes.
Jake Ladon,
Yes.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Scott Petey.
Yes.
Ordinance 2023-12 passes on its first reading. All right, any public comments? Anyone in the audience who would like to make a comment, please come to the microphone. State your name and address for us, please.
Good evening, Council. Dave Kitchell, 1423 North Street. I'm here tonight for two reasons. One is Spencer Park and the pavilion in your ward, Scott. That is slated for destruction this year and demolition. It is a historic structure. It was built in 1905. It's 108 years old, 18 years old. It also is an iconic part of the park in that it's the only building left that was there when the carousel was there. So I think that we need to pause the destruction, demolition of this building at this point and see what can be done to preserve it, protect it, conserve it, and what the public really wants to do. I don't think the public is even slightly aware that this is something that is going to be removed. And when you go to the carousel, you'll see a picture of it down there. When you look in where two rivers meet, you'll see pictures of people down at the shelter being there. And I think we're moving way too hastily on the structure. And it's not listed on the National Register of Historic Places. It may need to be. It's not an historic district. It may have to be at some point, but nonetheless, that's what we need to do. And the building material thing, too, is relevant because the building that we allowed to be built on North Street, right across from the former Christian Science Church, is clearly inappropriate for a historic district. It has no historic standard at all. It's not compatible. It's completely adverse to that. And that was just a real oversight on the part of the city to let that happen. It should never have happened. I've heard many comments about that, it being inappropriate for that neighborhood or historic district. It just is completely inappropriate. On another matter, with regard to IRS fees, I would hope that the city would pursue the bonding company that bonded the clerk treasurer for this. Clearly, she paid back the money that she overpaid herself in overtime, but this is her decision not to pay the IRS. She acted that way. She's bonded by the city. She should be held responsible, or the bonding company should be held responsible to recoup that money on the city's behalf. The city should not have to pay for her ineptness. So that's where I'm at on that. I think we're moving ahead in a lot of ways, very positively, but these things are bothersome, and they're obvious to the public and, quite frankly, embarrassing. So hopefully we can get that done.
Thank you, Dave.
Any other public comments?
Just a thank you for your support for Four Brothers LLC. Great new business to Logansport, going to occupy the Kaufman Building on Burlington Avenue, so thank you for that 5-0 vote. We have a new manufacturer that's going to go into the old Kaufman Building on 25, and we'll be able to announce that soon. The purchase has almost happened, so those two buildings are going to be occupied and not sit vacant. Thank you for your support on that, and the majority of their employees have been placed. So we don't have, we've gone through 2 job fairs to introduce them to local companies. We've had resume building, we've had on-site interviews, and for the most part, the ones that want to get placed, I believe, are placed. And the new company that's coming to the old building on 25, the Kaufman Building, some are going there. So I'll keep you updated when I know more details, but I think those are good things you should know about. And again, thank you for your support to Four Brothers.
Thanks for your work, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
You want to respond or need to respond on that thing about the clerk treasurer? There's been no assessment made, and it's
Right, there
can.
hasn't been. I mean, that's the reason it's been
go
tabled
after
for
a
as long
bonding
as that.
company or something. It's like, No, there's no.
Doesn't matter. I mean, it'll come out in the end with what we have to do. So,
That's what we're fighting to do.
Hi, Jan.
No decision has been made on keeping or demolishing the shelter at Spencer Park. So that's part of the public discussion.
It's just being discussed now.
Pardon me?
It's being discussed now. There's no decision made to demo.
During the master plan process, we're going to discuss it during that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. Any other public comments? Hello.
Good evening.
State your name and address for us, please.
My name is Janae Smith. I almost gave you my full name. My name is Janae Smith, and I'm here on behalf of the Department of Child Services in Cass County. I'm actually not a Cass County resident, but I do work here. I would just like to plug our safety fair that we have on the 15th of this month at McHale Complex from 2 to 4, and suggest that people use it as a networking opportunity. We're hoping to raise awareness for child abuse and neglect. April is Child Abuse Awareness Month. So if you have any questions, please call the local DCS office. You can speak with myself, Stephanie Neer, or our LOD, Deli Wells. You can confirm for me, but I believe you're supposed to be there, right, Mayor? Okay, great. We're going to be sending you some data pretty soon. So yeah, we're working on that.
Awesome.
So, okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Any other public comments? All right. Any council member comments?
I'll just make one. I missed both of our council members that are out. In particular, one that was having some difficult times, but I've not heard anything back the last 3 days, so I'm assuming no news is good news. So hopefully he gets mended and gets back here and argues again.
Very good.
Hope he's watching.
Too quiet without him.
Yes. Any other council member comments? All right. Miscellaneous business that any matter is not already considered, including ADA Section 504 compliance or concerns. All right. Seeing none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Second.
Call for question.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Larry Hood,
Yes.
Jake Ladon,
Yes.
Amy Dinsmore,
Yes.
Scott Petey.
Yes.
We are adjourned. Have a great night. Right, yeah. Hey. Well,